Good evening, campers, and welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. I'm Commander Exorcist, and it is time, once again, for Talk O Tuesday. This is my weekly Elite Dangerous show where I pick a Galnet article, read it, and talk about it, primarily from a lore perspective, but I will break the fourth wall, if necessary. Sans cowboy hat tonight because it affects the lighting, and I'm trying a couple of things differently. So, that's the story of that. So, a lot has happened recently. So we didn't have a Taco Tuesday last weekend because we got the reveal of the Type 8. Have a video on the Type 8 and my reactions to that. Love it. Think it's a beautiful ship. I can't wait to fly it. I'm not even a miner or a trader, but it's something I think that could probably get me into that, or I could possibly use it for other things. And then before that, we had the destruction of the Titan Hadad. And that thing fell pretty quickly. Surprising to many in the community how once it was vulnerable, how quickly that thing went down. Which is surprising to me too, because I think it's one of the more hostile Titans that we have faced. The enemies inside the cloud were very hostile, very difficult. The Titan itself was easy to aggro, and so it was just kind of a different feeling to it. But today we have an exclusive article that we're going to look at, and I'm going to say this. Everything you're going to hear from this point on is exclusive. I don't think, as far as I know, nobody else has talked about this yet. Nobody. And I wonder if the Python news, not the Python news, the Type 8 news, got everyone distracted from this. Because today's article is very important. It comes from the Tawanta Independent Beacon, which is an exclusive paper that my channel manages to get information from. And so we're going to take a look at an article talking about Titan defense countermeasures. So this is a Titanic change of tactics. And so we're going to go through this and talk about it. There's some interesting things here that I really want you all to consider. And then I will, as we talk about it, I'll kind of point you back to the source material, because I'm not going to show the source material on this video for just reasons, but it is out there if you want to go find it. But we're looking at today a Titanic change of tactics. Recent comments by the hosts of Channel 07 News have given citizens of all three superpowers cause for concern about the ongoing Thargoid War. If you don't know, and you should, I mean, if you watch this channel, you have to know what 07 News is. 07 News is that Federation propaganda show that comes out once a month and basically tries to sell you a bunch of stuff. They try to sell you ships and modules, and they try to sell you games and all kinds of other stuff. It's just basically like 2 hours of straight up Pilots Federation propaganda. But they said something on this recent show that has given everyone cause for concern. Intrepid observers at the Tawanta Independent Beacon noted that a seemingly casual conversation about the recent destruction of Titan Hadad had ominous overtones. Channel 07 is often seen as a propaganda arm of the Pilots Federation due to its gratuitous obsession and shameless promotion of PF activities, which gives this reporter cause for concern about the validity and sincerity of the content reported. So let's see what they said. Host 1, which we have censored their names to protect their privacy and respect them, because they could be, agents of the machine and not even know it. They could be Thargoid. They could be manipulated by Thargoids and not even know it. So we got to be careful with these guys. So we censored their names. Host 1 says that the Titans seem to be sitting back and letting this happen. What they're referring to is the fact that, and this is true, the Titans have just kind of given up. The first time we did it with Tyrannus was cool. Second time with Legong was awesome. Then Oya. And then by the time we got to Hadad, that's number 4. It's like they're not even trying anymore. And so you would think that something different would happen. But you got this host, and says the Titans seem to be sitting back and letting this happen. Host number 2, who's the actual kind of leader of the show, says, they seem to be. Who knows? I say this, that's great, but don't get cocky. And without missing a beat, host number 1 immediately agreed with him. The wording, don't get cocky, almost is said together. in unison. And there's this smile and this laugh from both of these guys. And then we move on to peddling the new ship that we want you to buy. It's like, hey, by the way, the Titans are doing this thing and they're just kind of letting you roll over them. And then, oh, by the way, watch out because they may be changing their tactics. By the way, here's this ship we're going to try to sell you, courtesy of the Pilots Federation. What is going on here? More interesting, no one else has picked this up. I haven't seen this anywhere else. Why isn't anyone else picking this up? Why is it the Tawanta Independent Beacon? Why is it some rag that picked it up? I have a theory. The frequency in which Thargoid Titans have fallen to humanity's forces has not gone unnoticed by the general population. In particular, the almost passive way in which the Thargoids have allowed their capital ships to be repeatedly decimated by identical combat methods has many casual observers openly wondering if the Titans will continue to sit idly by and allow their destruction, or will they implement an unknown countermeasure to defend themselves? And that's the key. And that's something that both casual observers have been asking, Thargoid AXI folks have been asking, everyone's been wondering. Seriously, these are like the ultimate destruction machines. These things are designed to build a war network for the other Goids to go out and kidnap human beings. They're using people as generators on these things. They're twisted and they're evil. And all we got to do is fire a couple of missiles, fire a few shots, you do it in the right sequence, and boom, you get a nice fireworks show. First time was okay. Next couple of times is okay. It's still an exciting experience. Watching Haddad go up the other day was exhilarating. But it's making me nervous. And I think it's making other people nervous. I've heard it in other circles, and it looks like that it's been picked up here. Is there something coming? And I think that our hosts at our propaganda arm, Channel 07 News, had some. I think they let the cat out of the bag. Now, I don't know for sure. This is straight up not propaganda. Yeah, this is propaganda. This is a conspiracy. But I don't know. I think the evidence is right there in front of us. Something is going on. The comments by the Channel 07 hosts have added credence to the idea that all is not what it seems with the Thargoid Titan assaults. And that is true. Man, whoever wrote this article for the Beacon, they're nailing it. They're nailing it. This is actual journalism, hitting up and exposing something we all missed. Now, is it possible that this is nothing? Yes, it's always possible. It's always possible that the Thargoids are going to step out of their ships, shake their hands, and say, "Whoops, our bad. Sorry, we don't want to fight anymore." But then it's also possible that we're going to get to maybe the next Titan, Thor, or whatever comes after it, one or two down the line. And what happens if we fire our missiles and they don't work? What happens if two Titans merge together? What happens if they all gather in a system together? I mean, they can do whatever they want. They can go wherever they want. It's not to say they have to stay where they're at. They just seem to have stayed where they're at. But when it gets to the point where they're so desperate, where the Thargoids are facing imminent destruction and defeat in their war against humanity, in such an easy, I don't say easy, it is easy, it's a very basic attack that they don't seem to be making any significant effort to defend against. What if they're willing to sacrifice so much of their fleet for one major engagement? When I moved my ship into position to film Haddad, the destruction of Haddad, I was talking to a friend on chat, and that is something we discussed. What if the Titans were a trap? What if we were lured in? We think we've got this thing melting down. Everybody gathers around. They're not flying combat ships, most likely. They're flying ships that are prepared for photographs or surfing the wave or whatever it is. What if all these pilots are gathered around the Titan, and that's when the Goids launch their assault? What if we're watching, say, Thor about to melt down, and three other Titans descend on us? It's over. The Thargoids could essentially end the war in a single swipe if they played their cards correctly. I think something's coming. I know something's coming. Vox Galactica, the big one. They requested an interview with the host of the highly controversial Channel 07 program, but it went unanswered. Well, that's unfortunate for them. Yeah, so who knows what's going to happen. So I'll just say this about this article. Article is fake. Information is real. Go check out the video on demand for the recent Frontier Unlocked live stream. Right at the beginning of the Elite Dangerous segment, watch the two hosts as they discuss the Thargoid Titan shortly after they discuss people taking photographs of the Titan explosions. You'll see what I mean. Hey folks, these are the disciples. If you would like to support my work here on the channel, I would love to have you as part of the team. Patreon.com/Commander Exorcist. You get access to special videos that other people don't, and you get early access to things like retro playback and other videos, 24-hour access usually for things before they hit the channel, special events, stuff like that. And that is going to be it for Taco Tuesday. Seriously, there is something coming. I don't believe at this point the Titans are going to roll over and just take one defeat after another. Even if it's nothing like Doomsday-like, we can't get cocky about it. I think they're right. Something could change. What if we did fire our missiles at Thor and it didn't work? What if we, who knows? But we got to be careful. And this stuff has to be taken seriously. We have to consider the fact that we may not know everything that's going on. And like in any war, got to be ready for anything. Hey, everybody, thanks for being with me tonight. I'm Commander Exorcist. Take care, fly safe, and I will see you out there. Good night, everybody.